Shalom, everyone. We have a testimony for y'all. We have been attacked by the powers of darkness. And some other things I need to share with y'all about the power of darkness, because they are truly mad on what I had shared with y'all and what this panel will be sharing with you also. So this is definitely something that you don't want to miss. I bid a shalom to the bride of the Messiah, a shalom to the 144,000, and a shalom to the nation of Israel. Now, one of our brothers will be coming in and out. Okay, he also has a testimony to share with us in this season of YAHUAH visitation. For we have seen the signs in the heavens and in the earth, and we know that Zion's affliction has been fulfilled. For the mystery Babylon, known as the whore that sits upon the beast, which is America, she has announced unto us that the Hebrews have completed their 400 years in this country with them under their rulership. So Zion has fulfilled her affliction, as written in 2nd Ezra chapter 6. And now that she has fulfilled that, our Father in heaven is visiting the earth. He is judging the earth. Give me a few minutes because I need to share this link with a couple of people who are coming in. Let me go to my channel. That's what I have to go to just to find it. So give me a few seconds. What I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna have my sister Love for All. If you can introduce yourself. Shalom, Sister Belinda, welcome. Sister Love for All, if you can come in and introduce yourself, and I'm gonna mute my mic. Okay.
Okay, this is Love for All. I'm in Ohio. The testimony that I have is that my life spiritually is being enriched through the teachings of the Ruach HaKodesh and the teachings of YAHUAH. We are under attack. It just feels like this is the season where we need to fight and remain in prayer. You know, make sure we're fasting, do all of the spiritual things that we need to be doing to fight. We have to pray for our brothers and sisters, especially those that are giving the word. Okay? And that is it.
Thank you, my sisters. Thank you, my sister. Y'all have to forgive me with my tone. Just bear with me. I'm just sharing this with a couple of people in their groups so they know that we are live. This is the one I know, because y'all, I have been, no, not just me. We have been attacked this morning since we had gathered together. Okay. I am going to bring in some other ones to introduce themselves, but unfortunately they was not able to cross over. Okay. Again, I'm telling y'all, the powers of darkness is truly working. Okay, let me see what's going on here. Edit posts. Oh, it didn't take my link. Okay. Like I said, we've been seeing some crazy stuff going on here. All right, there we go. Now it's giving. So we're going to put it in this group. Okay. And I think this is the last group. I'm going to put it in. These are the groups that I am close to. Okay. And where else do I need to put it? It was, I got to notify. Let me put it in my other group, my other family. Like I said, we got family everywhere. Let me put it in this group. My sister says only showing a black and white screen. Okay. Let me. Okay. She's trying to come in. Okay. So let me see what my sister's saying here. Where is it? I'll send her this link. Like I said, I'll be multitasking too much, y'all. I really need someone to help. Pray for me. Well, I have a volunteer. I have a volunteer to help. But pray for me, y'all, because my plate runneth over. It is full. My cup runneth over. It is full. Okay. And we just do this. And this is the last one. Okay. Now we can start. Get this out the way. Get this out the way. Let's see, do I need this anymore? I can take this off. I just don't like having a lot of stuff open. Then we can get to the nitty-gritty. So the title of this video is the meaning of joy cometh in the morning, and the mystery of the great day that we keep in Sukkot. We kept the great day last Friday night to Saturday at sundown, from sundown to sundown of last Friday to last Saturday. And we know that the Father is speaking unto us through these holy days. And they have deep messages, deep mysteries, and meanings. Okay, so we know that as well. Okay, so I don't know why I cut this off. The next sister I would like to introduce you to, Sister Evelyn. You're gonna have to call my phone, okay, so they can hear you, so you can come in and speak. And while I wait for her to call in, I'm gonna share my testimony and what I have. And sister, don't matter if you come in during my testimony, if you're able to come in, call my phone. Okay, I had a visitor this morning, and I already knew I was gonna get a visitor based on what was preached last night. Check the video description box and look at part 8. But when you look at all the parts, you begin to understand why I was attacked. Now, I've been getting these attacks since I was young. I can't remember what age. But these attacks are coming from a more powerful entity. Here she go. Hello, Moto. All right, sis, I got you on speaker. All right. Here she goes. Hello? They hear you, sis. Go ahead and speak.
Okay. And my name is you just want my name, and
yes,
I'm Evelyn Silas, and I'm from Englewood, New Jersey.
Okay. Any brief testimony you want to share with them so they get an idea, get familiar on who you are?
If you don't mind, not at this time.
Okay, that's fine, sis. All right, the next sister I have to introduce herself. So I'm gonna hit end call, okay? So the next sister I have to introduce herself is Sister. I'm gonna have to look at her name so I can pronounce it correctly. Okay, because as Hebrews, we have many names. Sister Nikia. Sister Nikia. If you can call my phone and introduce yourself. And then we can start into the word. Okay, while I wait for her, let me get back to my testimony. Yep, I had a visit last night, but this was dealing with the powers of darkness. It's nothing to fear. There she go. Okay. Oh, it hung up. Let me call her back. Let me call her right back.
Hello.
Okay, Shalom, sis. You on live now? If you can just introduce yourself, or is there anything you want to share with us, please do.
Shalom, sis. You on live now? All right.
You're gonna have to mute your mic on the Google Meet.
Okay. Okay, it's muted.
Okay.
Okay. Hello.
So cute when you do that. This is like my baby sister, y'all. But she got some powerful things to share for those who are into the spiritual things. And I can tell she's a little bit on the shy side, so I ain't gonna push her too hard. But say your name for me, sis.
My name is Shonda.
What's the other name you got posted?
Nikia.
Okay. This is Sister Nikia. Okay.
Just a nickname I like to use.
That's her nickname. All right. Anything else you want to share with them?
No, I'm just glad we all can come together as one during these last days.
Okay. It is a blessing for the family to come together, just as we come together in a family reunion. That's the season we are in now. So we can what? Fellowship. Let each other know we're not the only ones out here. Okay. I'm talking to the quiet ones, the ones that behind the scenes. Okay. Because when we bear his spirit, it will what cause us to what draw to one another. For we are his family. So we operate as a family. This has nothing to do with being a church or being an organization or being a clique or a camp. Okay? Because those things have what? Boundaries, walls. This is dealing with being a family, what the Father established in the beginning. Go back to Genesis. Okay? Thank you, sis. I'm going to end this call with you. So now we can begin. Okay? All right. Looking at the title, the meaning of joy cometh in the morning, and the mystery of the great day that follow after what? Sukkot. You have 7 days of the Feast of Tabernacle, and on the 8th day, it is known as the great day. It is also known as the day of restraints. Okay? The day of restraints. So let's start with the joy coming in the morning. Like I said, I had a visitor. I knew it was from the powers of darkness, and I knew once the message was released from last night that deals with the mystery of the scapegoat. I'm gonna have to mute my over here. Okay, so I'm muted in Google Meet, y'all. Okay, so I had a feeling that they was coming, and it also been prophesied to me that now they're gonna send the big boys after me. Y'all, there are different types of spirits. They're on different levels. So now I know the big boys is coming after me, but that is fine because I know what my assignment is. Y'all showed it to me by visions, not by visions. Let me correct myself. He showed it to me by dreams. He showed it unto me by his messengers who are prophets and prophetess as well. So Everything has been confirmed. He even spoke to me in my dream. I heard his voice, and he told me what is my calling. So that is to be expected. It's nothing to fear. Because see, you got to understand your enemy. When you know your enemy, then you know what? Do you know how to defeat your enemy? So they are going to come at me more harder than before because they're trying to shift me or to deter me from the calling, from the assignment that my Father has given unto me. Nothing to fear. They don't understand. The more they come at me, it's going to what? Strengthen me and strengthen my faith because of the journey he put me through, because of the Job he put me through. Because now I understand how his name is blessed when he giveth and when he taketh away. So it occurred in the morning, just at the time when what light coming in. Now I didn't expect that. It caught me off my game. And I felt I could see the force. It's invisible, but I can see it. It was coming down upon me. It was paralyzed me, preventing me to speak, but I was still rebuking it consciously by saying, I rebuke you in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Okay, and it was trying to overpower me, but I was very persistent. And then there was a small window where it began to uplift off of me. But when it had its window to come back, it did. But again, I rebuked it. And as I was rebuking it in my right ear, because I was laying on my left side in bed, I was facing the east. It was chanting in my right ear. I cannot mimic what it was saying, but it was chanting. Okay, this is how I know I'm dealing with the billboards. I had seen another spirit, and I have to give that testimony in a different video. But that other one, the first one I saw, he had horns. Yes, letting me know I'm dealing with the big boards now. Okay, but this one was chanting in my ear, and I knew what it was. Somebody's into witchcraft and sorcery who do not like what the Father has given unto me to preach and to prophesy. They don't like it because not me, but he who dwells in me is causing their kingdom to come down. In other words, they would no longer have stronghold on the sons and daughters of Adam. They would no longer have strongholds on the sons and daughter of Israel. For the Father now is bringing out his truth. The season of lies is over. You had your time to make it right. So now, as the old saying, like my grandma used to say, a lie go flying by. So as he flying by, what he making a mess. But here come truth, patiently and quietly, cleaning up the lie mess. That's the season we're in now. Truth now is coming forth, making those who is carrying on the lies of Satan to be ashamed. In other words, light is shining upon darkness now. So as the morning was coming in, when that entity was trying to overtake me, the light within me, and you know who that light is. He is the eye of the body. He is the light of the body. He is a lamp unto our feet. So the hidden man that's in my heart, that's written in 1 Peter chapter 3, came out and overcame the darkness. Just as the light in the heavens come out to overcome the darkness. Because when you go in a dark room, as we talked before, cut on a light, darkness disappears. The light is too powerful. It overtakes it. It overcomes it. So that's what it means with joy coming in the morning, because we can see by looking at the light of the heaven, it means what? Liberty, freedom, no longer to be oppressed, no longer to be vexed by the powers of darkness and even by their children, because the light says set you free. As you know, this is a Google Meet session of our calendar. That's what we're learning. So the calendar is teaching us what deeper things. So we have been in Genesis 1. As you see, we're going to be constantly going back to Genesis 1 as we proceed to the other books, because this is the day that we are looking for the 8th new moon. And the powers of darkness was trying to attack us through Google Meets. It wouldn't let us want to fellowship this morning. So we had some technical difficulties. But my mother who unfortunately is not on with us, she put a prayer down. And we was able to reconnect. And we was able to come back on here today with y'all. To share with y'all. To let you know you're not the only one out here. You're not by yourself. Okay? The Father is connecting you to his righteous one now. The Father is sending you to those that will preach his truth, those that will do his will, those that will stand up for him and for his son and for the Ruach, who is the glory of Yah, who also known as the beauty of Yah, who also is known as the seven eyes and spirits of Yah. That's what Yah's doing. Okay? So as we see with the light come up in the morning, it means what? Joy. You're going to be happy. You're going to be set free because you have liberty to worship Yah in peace without being vexed and oppressed by the powers of darkness. This what Adam experienced every day of his life. Shalom and greetings, sis. This what Adam had experienced every day of his life before he fell. Go back to the books. He didn't know what darkness was. He was always surrounded in light. And the same shall be for the bride and for the 144. Because we're going to dwell with him in his tabernacle that's not built by man's hand. And when he come with the new Jerusalem of the heavens, when the heavens and earth join together, it's going to join within the boundaries that was set in Genesis 2 with the 4 rivers, within those boundaries. And when it come down and set in the land of Israel, where the ancient Jerusalem was, where the ancient Zion was, it's going to be right there. And the Father will bring his home, which is his tabernacle, and he will be the light in that area. In other words, the sun would not overpower him and the moon would not overpower him. He would be that light in that area. There would be no darkness in that area. And the bride and the 144 shall dwell with him. That is their home now. That is their reward. For they are what? They are the children of the light. They are the children of the faithful. They are children that has an uncircumcised heart. They are the children who are born of the water and the spirit. That is their reward. And then he will have what? Within the land of Israel, the tribes to dwell around his holy place. Go back and read Ezekiel chapter 40 to 48. They would get what? Their inheritance back, including Dan. Even though Dan is not a part of the 144. Something to really meditate on. Now you begin to understand the saying of the joy coming in the morning. What does it mean? It means that the coming of the kingdom of Yah, and where he settled his home at within those boundaries of those 4 rivers that come out of Eden, which are Pison, Gishon, which is what the Nile River. Then you have the Euphrates rivers and the river of Tigris. Within that area, it would come there and dwell. That is the center of the earth. That is the connection place between the earth and the heaven, just like your belly button, right? Because you was connected with your mother in her womb. And through your mother, what she nourished you and she feed you. Well, just as that's the same place. That's the belly button area. Let me turn and plug in my laptop. There we go. That's the belly button area. That is the center point. And you need to connect to him. If you need to get in touch with him, this is where you go. Now we begin to understand what the prophets are saying, like Zechariah, when he said that all the nation would come and bring their offerings and partake in the feast of tabernacles. And if they do not, he will curse them and send no rain. And we know the rain is what brings forth food for Adam and for the animals. So if he send no rain, they will be what? Curse and famine. Okay. Let me see what we got going on here. I'm going to check on the other side. Okay, we straight. Okay. Just as the rain from the heaven, what bring forth what fruits, bring forth what plentiness, abundanceness. It's the same thing with the Father's Spirit when He rains upon us. It brings forth what the fruits of the spirits in Galatians 5. It also brings forth what eternal life. It brings forth what His knowledge, His wisdom, and His understanding. But first, you have to go through the door, which is YAHUAH HaMashiach, for He is the left. He said that He is the sheep. He is the door of the sheep. So you have to go through Him to get to the Father and to the Ruach. For when you break down His name, His Hebrew letters, the Hebrew letters in His name, when you break it down, one of the letters means fountain. And it says that He is the fountain of many waters, or He is the fountain of living waters. And that living waters is to receive the Ruach. And He is what? The door where when He comes into your heart, it's the bow area, y'all. The bow area. When He comes into you, who are the tabernacle, who are the vessel now, who are the one that house them. When He come into you, He brings them. John chapter 14, 15, and 16. And once He bring them into you, you now have access to the kingdom of heaven. That's another mystery. Okay? So now I hope that you understand what it means, how we look forward to the morning comes, how we look forward to that light that first appear in the sky comes, for it represent what? That joy shall follow after it. It shall bring us joy. Now, do I have anyone on my panel that want to compliment that or have a testimony that relates to that? All right. Remember, for those who are on the Google Meet side, y'all can call in. Okay. All right. Now we're going to look at the mystery of the Great Judgment Day, which falls on day 8. Is also known as the Day of Restraint. Read the prophet Joel writing to understand what is the Day of Restraint. For there's 2 types of judgment that has to take place in the heavens and in the earth. We learned last night that He's going to get what? The heavens in order first. Read Revelation 12 and see what take place in the heavens. Once the heaven get in order first, then He's going to get the earth in order. Remember, go back to Genesis to understand what happened. All the 8 parts will reveal to you what has happened in the heavens. Okay? Let me see what they say over here. Okay. So, where was I? Then after He get the heavens in order, He's going to get the earth in order. He's going to send His Son to bring forth His righteous judgment. Read John chapter, I think it's chapter 5. Let me see. John chapter 5. Yep. John chapter 5. You want to read that? I'm going to post it right here in the live section. So the Messiah will carry out the judgment in the earth, for all powers and authorities are given by His Father to do so. He's going to pave the way for His Father to come. And He's going to be with the hosts of heaven, and the 144 going to be with Him to tear down the beast. To tear it down. Just as Daniel prophesied about that little stone that's going to tear down the statue that he saw, or that's going to tear down the mountain that he saw. Kingdom's going to be broken. The head of the dragon going to be stomped upon or trampled upon. It's going to be the end of Satan. And once the Messiah does his part for 1,000 years, because he's preparing us to be holy unto the Father. For if you understand anything about our Father in heaven, you cannot appear in the manner that you are. You have to be cleansed. You have to be atoned, and you have to live righteously for even the Father to dwell in our presence, to dwell among us. Okay? So he does this within a 1,000-year period. He sits on his Father's throne, does he not? For he holds the office of the priesthood and the king's position, just like Melchizedek. He was the king of Shalum, which means what? City of peace, like Jerusalem, right? And he too was the high priest that our father Abraham went to intercede. Something deep here, y'all. That is the order that the Messiah came after. The same order that ordained the Levites, who was a seed in Abraham's loins, that will ordain them to be priests. Amazing, ain't it? When you meditate on his word and you see what's really going on. So after Messiah get the earth in check, because we know the beast and his party or his entourage is going to be cast in the bottomless pit, and those that receive his mark going to be cast in the bottomless pit. There's no forgiveness for them, and they're going to stay in Sheol where they belong for 1,000 years. Then Satan himself going to be stirred up again one more time. As we know, the Messiah has the keys to hell, so Satan going to be set free again one more time to stir up the sons of Adam to come to attack the children of Israel who's dwelling in a place that's without walls. They're dwelling in the place that is desolate. You got to watch part 8. Look in the video description box to understand what is the wilderness for the children of Israel. Because he's going to hear about good things going on about them, because see, they're not under his reign, they're not under his rulership, they didn't take part in his mark. So he's going to what? Stir up the nations. He's going to stir them up. Now this is after, let me correct myself, this is after the Messiah reigned for 1,000 years. So Satan going to be released from Sheol one more time, so they can what? Come and attack the Most High people that's dwelling peacefully. But this time, it is not the Son that's going to deal with him. This time, it would be our Father from heaven to deal with him. And when he deal with him, then the second resurrection would occur, and all souls and angels shall receive their final judgments. And when those that are wicked receive their judgment, he's going to take Sheol and cast it into the eternal lake of fire. And they shall experience their death, their eternal death for eternity. Read Isaiah chapter 66 in the book of Revelations. Okay? But for those who are made it in his kingdom, they shall receive their inheritance according to their heart, their faith, and their works. This is why the Messiah said that there will be those who will call great in the kingdom, and then there will be those who are called least in the kingdom. So what you do now, how you live your life now, determine what kind of inheritance you're going to get. See, these are things that the Pharisees of today are not going to tell you. They're having you think all Israel going to receive the same gift. Not so. Go back to the Messiah parables, such as the king's feast such as the 10 virgins. And read Revelation 12. I know I've said it several times, but notice there are those that have to face the beast. Not everybody goes in that first gathering. There are different gatherings. Okay? So back to the great day. The great day represent our Father's judgment day, Yahuwah's judgment day. And after he judged what he ordained or what he established in the beginning shall now come forth in the earth. And he will now dwell with his people. And they will come and worship him. That's going to be a beautiful time. Okay? Again, do I have anyone on my panel that want to want to share on this topic or elaborate on this topic? If not, I'm going to share with y'all some information dealing with the calendar because we got the 8-month coming in. Okay? So there's some sites you want to go to. I'm going to share my screen on that. So let me see, can I pull that site up first? Okay, let me share this screen. As you see here, there have been no reports of the new moon sighting for the 8th month. Okay, this is one of the sites I go to see if anyone has sighted the new moon. And the reason why we want to look at a worldwide report, yes, Israel is the starting point. It's just like a clock. It starts with Israel. But when you read the prophets' writings, such as Enoch, you will learn that the new moon will not appear at her appointed time. Also, when you read Yahuwah prophetic messages, he tells us that the heavens is operating out of order because it's a sign unto the Hebrew Israelites that they are not in their proper place. Remember Genesis 1 verse 14. These lights in the heaven are to what? Perform signs unto us. Okay. So it says here, the next renewed moon crescent will begin the 8th month of the year with first reports expecting to come on the era of Madagascar and points westward on Saturday evening, October 17th. Israel-based observers will have the possibility of sighting this same evening if conditions are clear, but may be difficult. So what it's saying here is talking about the heavens. If it's going to be a cloudy day, that's one of the factors that determine if you're going to see it or not, depending on your location. Also, another factor is where the new moon rises at or seen at. Sometimes it's closer to the horizon. So if you have tall obstacles before you, you may not see it, like trees and stuff. Okay, it has to be in a clear, open setting where you can see the heavens clearly from the horizon and up. All right. Now, I'm going to take that screen off. And now I'm going to show you the Most High calendar. Wish me luck on that because I'm telling y'all, whatever Google owns, y'all, it is a spy tool. It is under the performance of the beast, which is 666. Okay, this is why they make these things free unto us. Remember, nothing is really free. It's something they want or something you have to pay the price for. So we know they use these tools to spy on the servants of Yah and to prevent the servants of Yah from getting the truth out to you. Okay, but Yah is going to work everything out. Now let me go to the calendar. 。 . 。 . 。 . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Right, we'll share that screen. And Shabbat Shalom to Lion Pride. Welcome. Okay. The calendar link is posted in the video description box. This is free unto you. When you click on the calendar link, as you see before you, there are links you can click on, such as photos of the new moon sightings. I also keep up what we call a end of year summary report, where I look at all the numbers, because it helps you to understand Enoch's prophecy that pertains to the lights in the heaven. He has it written in the first and second book. Then we have the link for the Most High prophetic messages. I highly recommend that you listen to them. It's the first 7 videos in that playlist, and print those messages out and share it with your family, friends, and strangers. And notice of the messages that he's telling unto us in those messages. It's really deep. Then there's a link to share this calendar link, because sometimes I know how Google is, it can mess up. So that's why I put the shareable link there. Then there's a link to show the record of the lunar epochs. This is something that the Gentiles got from the prophet Enoch to figure out when would the new moon start for the first of the year. This is the information they use to figure out when to begin their holidays, or their pagan days such as Easter. And the prophet Enoch in his second book talks about that. Also, in the video description box, you will have a PDF link to all Enoch's 3 books that was translated by Joseph Litkin. And I believe he went to the Jews of Ethiopia to translate some of those writings. Remember, the Jews of Ethiopia are known as Phalasha. They are strangers, so they are Israelites. Okay? And their father Dan wrote unto them. Read his book, and you can see what's happening unto them in the land of Israel. His prophecy is coming true. And even the Yahad, who are Jewish, who are converts, acknowledge them as the original Israelites. So when one dispute these books, how can you? Because the Father left a witness in the earth to let you know these books come from him. It is the heathens who have gotten these books, or who have removed these books, or who have tainted these books. But we have the Bible, which is the King James 1611, as our foundation to compare. We also have the Ruach, who will teach us all things. Read 1 John chapter 2, verse 27. And then below that link, which is 2018 to the present, I keep a record of the lunar epoch. And you will see how it falls right in order with what Enoch prophesies, and how we can find out when the new moon will start for the new year. And it'd be right on point, because our Father is the inventor of math and science. He is the inventor of astronomy. All things come from him. Okay? So we're going to scroll down. I list some important scriptures that you will refer back to when we deal with certain fasts that we keep. And a new one that the Father confirmed about the 3rd month fast can be found in the book of Baruch. Okay? In the Apocrypha. And then you want to look at the fast of Isaiah chapter 58. That's a different type of fast that is pleasing unto Yahuwah. It's dealing with the edification of your heart. That's what it's going to be. That's going to be the end result when you partake in that type of fast. It's going to cure you of your heart condition. Now, what you see before you, I'm not going to go in all details. That will be done in the 2nd video. Okay. But we are entering into the 8th month. All right. The 8th month means what? Increase, produce. Wow. Because are we not entering into a new beginning? Does not the Father great day represent a new beginning? When you look at Enoch's 10-week prophecy, I'm going to take you to that, if it's permitted. Do you see how this is connecting? So in the new beginning in his kingdom to come, it's going to be what? A great increase. It's going to be what? Productive. Spiritually, in his way. Okay? So we're waiting for it to show. If it shows on October the 17th, which is today at sundown, okay? So if it does not show, then the 7th month will have 30 days, as you see here. Right here where you see XX, we bring up the first one. Right now we're in the 29th day. This is the dark moon day, okay? It's also a supermoon day, but you cannot see this moon in the heavens with your eyes. As the prophet Enoch has prophesied unto us, he said the ending of the month is when the moon has no light upon her. Okay? So if they don't see the dark moon today, then we would have 30 days for the month of Tishri, Ethanim, the 7th month. Okay? Which falls on the sun's 7th month and 26th day. On the heathen's day, it will fall on October the 17th at sundown to October the 18th at sundown. Okay? So whatever day they see the crescent, when the light first appears on the moon, is your first day of the new moon. Your first day. Okay? That's what we're waiting for. So as you see here, I can't really number anything until it comes in. Right? For as biblical events, you want to look at Genesis dealing with Noah and the flood. For we learned that in Genesis chapter 7, verse 1 through 10, that is when the flood is released upon the earth. As you see, Father was cleaning the house for a new beginning to come. Because when you understand what the powers of darkness, when you understand what the principalities have done, then you understand why he had to bring the flood, why he had to clean house and start over with a righteous seed, which is Noah and his sons. And don't think that the sons of Adam was not taught about the Most High. All of them was taught about the Most High. But again, they had a heart condition. Okay? And that would fall on the 11th day of the moon. The 11th day of the moon. All right? That's a biblical event. As far as another biblical event you want to look at is 1 Kings chapter 12. That's dealing with the idolatry or idol worshippers that came from the house of Israel. That's another biblical event you want to look at for the 8th month. Then on the 17th day of the 8th month, that's the day when Noah entered the ark. Remember, this flood thing that was going on, it took a whole year for Noah to remain in the ark. Okay? In the 7th month, the Father told Noah to build the ark. And I can't remember about the time, how much time the Father gave him. But then when that time was complete, in the 8th month, which is Bull, he entered into the ark. That falls on the 17th day of the 8th month. Okay? Then on the 27th day of the moon, this is when Noah is 601 years old. And this is the day when the earth is dry. So when you follow the events of the flood, you know it took a year process for all these things to occur. Because the Father was what? Setting a new beginning. So on the 27th day, Noah is 601 years old. The earth is dried. And you read about that in Genesis chapter 8, verse 14. Okay? Well, my people on the panel, do not worry. We're going to review this. But I just want to, give the highlights to those who are joining us in this YouTube live session. Now, for those who want to partake in the fellowship of our Google Meets, you can text me at 919-972-8970. That phone number is also listed in the description box. Please identify yourself, and the link will be sent to you. Okay, for those who want to continue to fellowship with us in the Google Meet sessions. Now, we are planning to meet on most Saturdays. You usually start at 11 because that's our time to fellowship. And then after we fellowship, then we go into the calendar, because we're learning that the calendar will give you the mysteries and the understanding of the biblical prophecies of what would happen to the nation of Israel, to the bride and to the 144. It also gives you understanding about the Messiah. It also gives you the understanding about the what was, the what is, and what yet to come. It also gives you understanding about agriculture. It gives you understanding with the Father and the Ruach as well. I'm sorry, y'all, my tongue getting twisted. So as y'all can see, a lot goes in with this calendar. It's more than just knowing about when the holy days come in. It is to teach you the deeper things, the mysteries, the heavenly messages, as y'all can see. Oh, Father reminded me, I got one more tab to share with y'all. Okay. And that's dealing with Enoch's 10 weeks prophecy. I'm still working on that. So you're going to have to bear with me. But I'm going to share with you what the Father has shared with me. Okay. Because I'm finding out that even the Israelites, who are the Pharisees, had a hand in this too. Not only heathens. They've been covering up information so we won't get the true date. However, the Father left us clues. And I believe that in his time, he would give me the confirmation. Okay. He would give me the confirmation on that. We got another date piece where we was learning about the 7 parts, and the Father gave it unto me. So when you look at creation, we know Adam was created in the 6th day. It is also known as the 6,000 year. Remember, a day unto Yahuwah is like 1,000 years. Go and read Genesis chapter 2 and Genesis chapter 5. Because when you learn, when Adam died, he died at the age of 6,930. Because the Father told him, if he eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, he would die in that day. It's in there. He would die in that day. So it's not talking about a 24-hour period. It's talking about 1,000-year period. So read Genesis chapter 2 and chapter 5. And you'll see it. Okay. So because he felt in this day, things had to be what? I don't want to say the word reset. When he fell in this day, in other words, it caused a left from what the Father originally created. So another path had to be established to bring us back to the original path that the Father had for Adam and the Israelites. Okay. So in other words, certain biblical events have to take place in order for us to enter into the new beginning, in order for the great day to come, which is known as the day of restraint. And that is the day, I'm about to say, you want to make sure you're on the right side. You don't want to be on the wrong side. You don't want to receive the eternal death, because it's worse to have to die an earthly death, and death can be painful, then turn around to die a eternal spiritual death. That's even worse. Then turn around on the great day and have to receive another death, which is the eternal lake of fire. So that's a threefold death. It's no joke. Okay. So this is the creation day. Creation start at 6,000, which is day 6. Okay. And etc. Then we have the walls of Jericho, because when you understand that mystery, it tells us a mystery in that to give us idea when the Messiah is coming, to break down the stronghold, to break down the beast kingdom. Then we have the dates that starts from Adam, because when we look at starting from Adam, we start as what? Day 1, which will lead up to what? The first year to the 1,000 year. Okay, remember each day is 1,000 years. And like I said before, we know that he died in that first day. Okay, this is how we get our dates. Now I'm still working on the date for the flood. I am looking at some sources. I have found out that the Pharisees has manipulated some information as well as the heathens. But from what I'm reading so far, it is lining up, because when I look at the date that is given by Enoch, Enoch give us the date when Azazel and those watchers will be judged in the great day. He give us a date. And when you go to the second page, the date that he give us, that he will be judged in the 7th generation. He's going to receive his final judgment. And those watchers who left their heavenly estate and came down to the earth. And when you read the prophet's writings, and you read the book of Genesis, and you read the book of Peter's and the book of Jude, you will see what sin they created. Okay. Also, when you watch part 1 to part 8, that's listed in the video description box, we go over that. So on the great day, in the 7th generation, remember there are leaders that the Father has established over each generation. So before Adam, we had 19 leaders. It starts with Adam going all the way up to Terran. That was Abraham's father. Okay, from Adam to Terah, that's 19. Okay, now Abraham makes the 20th head of that generation. So when you learn about the Hebrew letters, you will learn that there are 22 heads or 22 leaders of each generation, just like there are 22 kinds of creation that the Father made in Genesis. Read the book of Jubilees. Okay, but when we look at the time of when the Father gave his judgment to Azazel, okay, he told him he will receive his final judgment in the 7th generation. And we have a clue. Go to the book of Matthew, and it tells us how many generations passed when you're dealing with the males. Okay, and remember, Joseph had adopted Yahushua by marriage. That's a mystery on that. Again, the Pharisees gonna teach you otherwise. It's like your head. Your head got the same doctrine too, y'all. Just look it up and you will see. And remember, the camps got their information from the commandment keepers, who got their information from the Yahed. The Yahed also came in and shared information with them. Now you begin to see the root. And the Yahed got it from the Pharisees, who are Israelites. Do y'all see the irony in this? Okay. All right. So the date we have in the gospel is that we learn from Abraham to the Messiah, we have 42 generations to pass. Okay. Then when you look at Enoch's 10-week prophecy, you can line that up and look at the events that take place in each prophecy. And then you can line it up with the date of Adam and the date of creation. This is how I'm able to do it. Sorry about that, y'all. Okay. Like I said, I'm still working on. And then there are certain biblical events that we have heathen dates to, such as the birth of the Messiah. How I know, according to the sacred books like Nicodemus, Adam and Eve, and some other ones out here, we know for a fact, without a doubt, he came in the 5,500 year from Adam. That is no doubt. It has been confirmed. That's how I'm able to get a date for him, of the date when he was crucified and resurrected. Okay. Then there's other dates, such as when Solomon built the temple, such as when the temple was desolated by the Romans. So there's other dates that I can line up with the date of Enoch, with the date of Adam, and with the date of creation. Father gave us clues. Okay. And when the Father gave me the final piece, hopefully I can go over this with y'all again. So the great day will fall in day 15 from creation, which is the 15,000 year. And this day is the great day, or the day of restraint. It is the eternal judgment. And it's also the day when Azazel and the watchers will be receiving their final judgment. Okay. It is also the date, let me scroll down to the event, of what Enoch wrote. And here, this is when we have the first heaven shall depart and pass away, and a new heaven shall appear, and all the powers of the heaven shall give sevenfold light. Okay, That's from Enoch's 10-week prophecy. So the 10th week of Enoch's prophecy would fall in this date, and the day from Adam falls on day 10, and it starts in the 9,001st year to the 10,000th year. The walls of Jericho date will only fall in day 8 of Adam, because this is having to do with what the Messiah would do. Okay. And while the Messiah is reigning for 1,000 years, in day 9 from Adam, we have rest. Okay. Now, when we look at the generation date, the 7th generation will fall in day 15. Okay. Day 15. With the 42nd generation, that will fall in day, let me go up. The 42nd generation will fall in day 6, which makes sense because the Messiah comes in the 5,500 year. So he is the head of that generation. So when I add 19, remember there was 19 leaders before Abraham. Abraham make number 20. If I add 19 to 79, I get a total of 89 generations, or 89 heads. Okay? Just like to share that with y'all. Still working on it. And the powers of darkness don't like it because I'm giving y'all dates so you can understand how close we are. We are in the 7th day. That means, as the Messiah say unto us, we are close to his coming more than ever before. We are very close. So this is what he means, that we shall know the season of his coming. And this all comes from y'all just by keeping a record of the Most High calendar and by keeping a record of time, looking at the creation timeline. Do y'all see what this brought forth? Okay. I want you to meditate on what I just shared with y'all. So you are seeing that it's more than performing the tasks of Torah or what the sacred books say unto us. For these tasks are to teach us divine mysteries. These tasks are to teach us his messages. And then we can see how the Father is speaking through his creation. So I gave you the understanding how we have joy come in the morning by looking at the light of heaven and what that represents. You know, so he speaks to us through his creations. He also speaks to us through his Hebrew letters, through his Hebrew words. He speaks to us through math, through science, etc. For he is the all. He is the Aleph and Tau, just as he is. His son mimicked the same thing. For he is the what? The Aleph and Tau. In the Greek tongue, they said what? Alpha and Omega. Alpha and Omega. So are you seeing how everything's connected? Everything is just like a circuit, just like those lights go around. Let me maximize my screen. Just as these lights go around. Oh, let me go over here. Just as these lights go around in this circuit. That's the same with all this stuff that he's given us in Torah to perform and do. They connect to show us the bigger picture. All right, y'all, we did a short session today. I hope you enjoyed this session. For those who want to continue with us, as I share with them how to number the 8 month once the new moon comes in, and I'm going to share with them what the prophet Enoch said about what is the new moon. Okay, because remember, his prophet's right is going to stand stronger with the Father when you meet him. His prophet's right is going to stand even with the Messiah. So those people who teaching other things about what is the new moon, well, remember what the prophet said. You have the prophet. Even the Messiah said this. We have the prophets telling us what it is, but it's up to what? It's up to us to what? To listen, to see, and to unharden our heart to receive it. Okay? All right, my brothers and sisters, continue to preach that the kingdom of heaven is at hand, for it's truly at hand, y'all. Woo! We don't have long. It is time for you to come in. Do not worry about your state or your condition. This is where the Spirit will come in and deliver you of these things. For you cannot do this by your hand, for you are flesh. You are in your fallen state. That is what is passed on to you from our foreparents, Adam and Eve. So you need to receive his salvation, which is YAHUAH HaMashiach. And when he dwells in you, he's going to show you things, and he's going to cleanse things within you. He's going to deliver you of those things that have a strong hold upon you. Okay, that's where it begins. So make sure the people hear about the gospel that the kingdom of heaven is at hand, and show them how to do their baptism in the home, because you don't have to have somebody to baptize you. You don't have nobody. Do it yourself. Go in the bathroom, because where the Egyptian eunuch said, where there is water, I shall be baptized. And the second witness in the earth is the water, and the Father pour his spirit upon all creation. Therefore, the water can go and report to the Father and let him know who entered into the new marriage, which is the new covenant, which is the New Testament. And the water which in the earth go in hand with the spiritual, which is the word, YAHUAH HaMashiach. For the carnal go in hand with the spiritual. Just like the earth go in hand with the heavens. The heavens manifest the signs, and the earth play it out in the physical. Okay. So the Messiah set the example of the water baptism, the Holy Spirit baptism. If you want the Holy Spirit baptism, all you got to do is ask the Father in the name of YAHUAH HaMashiach, and he shall give it unto you, as written in Luke chapter 13, and read 1 John chapter 5. But according to how much he give you of the Ruach is according to your heart, according to your faith, according to your words. Okay? Father knows best. He knows his children. And the apostles contain them both. I love y'all all, and shalom.